What's up? You are now listening to Americanized, a storytelling podcast where you'll hear from eclectic first and second generation Americans share their stories and real life experiences as children of immigrants. Welcome back to another episode of Americanized. I'm your host, Roslyn, and today we are going to be talking about this word that I was able to relate to and connect a lot of things to, and I believe you can too. The word is Saudade. Now this is a word for first-gen feelings, and this is the deep emotional longing for a person, place, language, or a feeling that may never return. It's similar to nostalgia. It's a bittersweet feeling of missing the joy experience from something, and that could be anything, but in this case, and as first-generation Americans, I feel like we could all relate this word to the feeling and longing of back home and our home countries and our motherlands. When I think of this word, saudade, I immediately think of visiting back home for the very first time. At that time, I had just completed my junior year of high school, and it was the summertime, so junior year of high school completed, summer before my senior year. My dad took me and my two other sisters. I have three sisters, but he took me, my older sister, and the sister who comes right after me to visit back home. And it's weird to be culture shook by your own family's culture back home, but it happened naturally since this was my very first time visiting Côte d'Ivoire. And the only thing about the culture that I wasn't shocked about was the language, because that was very familiar to my ears, and most of the foods. My mom cooks traditional Ivorian foods. Overall, what did shock me was the infrastructure, like the modes of the transportation, the roads, the buildings, and the overall way of living was kind of new to me. I remember writing my college essay the following senior year about this trip and really comparing and contrasting how different the way of living in Côte d'Ivoire was from my way of living in America. Back home, things are definitely more slower paced, and I would say seizing the moment and being present is quite natural there. And over here in America, this is a desire that I hear all the time, to have slow mornings, slow evenings. Because we move at such a fast pace, there's a heavy desire for us to move slow and be present. But I quickly noted that being present is a natural rhythm of back home. Also, the emphasis on faith was huge, and the commitment to community, socializing, and hospitality. It was all a very beautiful thing to be a part of. And I also love how, thinking about how food is so inviting and brings people in close. My family, I think I just come from a family of eaters. We just love food, and my aunties and my grandma, they all wanted to feed us everything. But we quickly learned how to say later, like après, like I'll eat this later, not right now. And we also learned how to say I'm full, which I can't really say it. Well, we learned how to say I'm full because the portions were so large and we couldn't possibly eat more. You do eat when you're hungry, you also eat when you are invited to someone's home, and to be polite, you eat their food. But to learn the polite ways to decline food, like I'll eat it later or I'm full right now, we had to learn those kind of quick. I also remember meeting my cousins for the first time and finally putting faces to the names I've been hearing about from my parents, or like just over the phone, or like you talk to your cousin on the phone but you don't know who they are or what they look like when your parents hand you the phone to talk to your cousin real quick. And it was nice to really put faces to all the names I've heard or stories I've heard of people, and just see them in the flesh and interact with them and vibe with them. I just loved how all my cousins were in a similar age bracket, so we quickly became friends. So these are some of the feelings and the people and the memories I have that I long for, that are now familiar because the country is more familiar to me, my family members are more familiar to me, And going back to the word Saudade, there was a time when we took the long, it's like 8 to 10 hour drive to the mountainous region in Ma, where my mom is from. And I remember we all like slept in the car, would wake up periodically. But when I woke up, the sun was setting, and I just remember the sun was this big reddish orange circle in the sky, and it was painting the sky as it was setting. And man, that is such a distinct memory that I have and I hold on to. And I'd love to see that specific sunset again. Like, I've seen beautiful sunsets, but the way I like to describe it as the sun was painting the sky. So good. It's always hard, too, to return back to the States after having a life-changing and memorable visit back home. Especially the first one, because it was so new. Everything was brand new. Some use of the language was new to me. I learned some new words and phrases. Even though this is my family, they were new to me. They were distant family members. You know, my family is really big, and there are people I still don't know or haven't met. So the people were new to me. The country itself was new to me. The way people live was new to me. The transportation, the lifestyle was new to me. Even visiting my uncle's house where I stayed, that was new to me. Bucket showers, anybody? Bucket showers, that was new to me. There's so much newness to it. And experiencing that for the first time leaves an imprint in my mind, and this is the word for that, longing to go back. But just in general, longing to go back home is always going to be with me. And it's a long flight, and it's an expensive flight. It's worth being there for more than a month if possible. So that desire is there, but I'm limited by living across the ocean in a different country. When I do come back home to the States, I'm immediately overcome with sadness and just a longing to go back. When's the next trip back? When are we going to go back? I wish we could stay longer, or next time I'm here, or I could see myself living here for a year or 6 months. Like, the desire to go back is so strong and heavy when we land back in the States. To hear the language, to see the family and the places, it sticks with me. I'm sure it sticks with you as well. Luckily, I have been blessed and fortunate enough to return back home a bit more consistently, especially since my older sister lives there. We were thinking of maybe we go every other year, or, try to space it out because it is an expensive trip. With my sister living there, my older sister, that even adds a layer of longing, because now there's a physical distance between that immediate family member, and she also has kids, so now there's a physical distance between me being an aunt to my nieces and my nephew. And it's tough, and there is solace in knowing that I'm not the only one in this feeling. So that raises the question, have you experienced the nostalgia surrounding back home? There is a big group of first-generation Americans who have never stepped foot back home. I'd love to know, how do you relate to this word? And have you visited back home? What was your experience like? And do you feel nostalgic about it? Thank you so much for listening. I hope to catch you in the next episode. All original music produced by Stubborn Soul. You can find him on all music listening platforms at STBRNSAL.